All right, let's get to our second topic right now, and it's going to be, let's see here, Cosmos. We're going to discuss Cosmos here. Let's get into this shit. This should be fun.
We're about to begin a journey that will take us from the infinitesimal to the infinite, from the dawn of time to the distant future. We'll explore galaxies and suns and worlds, surf the gravity waves of space-time, encounter beings that live in fire and ice, explore the planets of stars that never die, discover atoms as massive as suns and universes smaller than atoms. Cosmos is also a story about us. It's the saga of how wandering bands of hunters and gatherers found their way to the stars. One adventure with many heroes. To make this journey, we'll need imagination. But imagination alone is not enough, because the reality of nature is far more wondrous than anything we can imagine. This adventure is made possible by generations of searchers strictly adhering to a simple set of rules. Test ideas by experiment and observation. Build on those ideas that pass the test. Reject the ones that fail. Follow the evidence wherever it leads, and question everything. Accept these terms, and the cosmos is yours. Now, come with me.
All right, let me read this article real quick before we get on here. Here we go. This is an article according to The Hollywood Reporter. It's talking about the premiere of Cosmos. Sunday's incredible crowded TV schedule was Fox pitting science against scripted heavy hitters like The Walking Dead, True Detective, and ABC's impressive launch of Resurrection. The broadcast nets follow up to Carl Sagan's 30-year-old Cosmos, A Personal Voyage, brought in 8.5 million viewers across 10 networks, including Fox's cable nets and the National Geographic Channel. Fox cited global projections north of 40 million viewers for the first week. I guess the demographic here among adults 18 to 49, Cosmos grossed a 2.9 rating. Cosmos is a space-time odyssey produced by Seth MacFarlane and hosted by Neil deGrasse Tyson. Fared best on Fox. Fast national returns have the network earning a vast majority of the total haul with 5.8 million viewers. So yeah, guys, what I want to ask you is, if you guys, I think you guys seen the two first episodes. What do you guys think of it, man? Yeah. I think it's pretty friggin' dynamite, man. I love the effects. I love the graphics. I think it's amazing. And we're going to get into another story here soon about Creationists.
It's a throwback, it's like a throwback to the original. You know, it's not.
How's that feel? Yeah.
Yeah, it's really nice. I think Neil deGrasse Tyson does a good job. The graphics are pretty damn good.
Oh yeah.
I actually I usually allow like a bunch of episodes to build up before I'll watch something like that. That's just the way I like to do it. Watch like 5 or 6 in a row. But since I had to watch them, you know, in order to talk about them. But yeah, I did a really good job. I'm really looking forward to the next few episodes. They had a lot of foreshadowing, and they had a lot of alluding to, you know, other things they're going to talk about in the future. It looks really interesting, and I actually learned some shit.
Yeah, that's
a
big thing about it. I think we're going to be talking this in a little bit. I think Paul is, and we're going to talk about the education, you know, in schools and creationism and all that stuff. But what I think is, yeah, like you said, I think the animation's great, and I did learn a few things, and I think that's what the show's basically about. It's what it's about, because for science, a science program to be on primetime television is indeed rare. It's very rare, and I think this is great. And we're going to get to some Christians that are in an uproar. I'm going to be playing an audio here in a second. But Paul, what do you think of the Cosmos series so far?
Yeah. I think it's much needed. I mean, honestly, I love the original series. I've gone back and watched it again. Neil deGrasse Tyson, he really narrates well. I mean, not as well as Sagan did, but he's still doing a really good job getting the information out there, because he's still very engaging. He's a bit monotonous, but you still really enjoy the story he's telling. And it's really important that he tells it because we are doing quite badly in our scores against other countries. And if you want to bring up that graph I gave you, or the chart I gave you before.
Yeah, sure. Here we go.
Right. So you can see the red line there. That's us, the United States. We are behind such lovely countries as the Russian Federation.
That's pretty bad. We're a 497 score, and it looks like I guess we changed it a little bit. 1.4. I don't know if that's percent or what, but it looks like points. 1.4 points. We went up a little bit. We're at 497.
Yeah.
Looks like the top is 580. China.
Went up a little bit in mathematics and science, which is good. Science is really good, but we went down in reading, which. But I mean, we're nowhere near we should be. We're below the level of the OECD averages. I mean, we're below the average level on everything.
China has 3 of the top 6 spots.
I know. See that shit?
That's ridiculous. I knew Singapore would be way up there. I mean, they won't let you chew gum.
Korea, Japan.
They are fucking strict. Of course, the Asians have a lot more.
Look at the
Russian
Federation. How funny is that?
Yeah, I was going to say,
Slavic
behind
Republic.
The Russian Federation. How the fuck are we behind the Russian Federation?
And a lot of these countries are very secular oriented.
Vietnam.
You know,
I thought we killed all of them.
Vietnam.
Didn't we get rid of all of them, Charlie?
Get rid of all
of them. Now they're getting degrees in the whatnot.
Oh, look at that. Estonia is up on the list, too. Yeah. The next country that Putin's going to try to go after. Huh?
Yeah, right.
Jesus.
But yeah, that's a good graph you came up with. Thank you. What else you got on this, Paul?
I mean, it's really important that we get the education out there because the whole idea of equal airtime for creatards. Are you kidding me?
Oh, well, we're going to get into that, dude. I'm going to be playing this audio here in a second. You want to hold on to that? I'm going to play this audio.
Yeah. I'm sorry, man. I just that
you're trying to get ahead of yourself.
Livid,
I know.
I can't contain that.
That's all right. Let's play this video, guys, or this audio, I should say. And it's this lady right here. She has her own show. Of course, she's a Christian host, broadcaster. The Janet, Mefford show. Yeah, she's a cutie, man. Look at her, man. She's a cutie, man. So let me play this. Let me play this audio here real quick of her. All right, here we go. Audio coming in. Technical difficulties.
Any interviews with scientists themselves during this whole thing, and do they ever give a creationist any time?
Well, no, the creationists aren't even on the radar screen for them. They wouldn't even consider us plausible at all. I don't recall having seen any interviews with people. That may yet come, but it's based upon the narration from the host and then various types of little video clips of various things, cartoons and things like that.
Boy, but when you have so many scientists who simply do not accept Darwinian evolution, seems to me that might be something to throw in there. Sometimes, some scientists say this, others disagree and think this, but that's not even allowed.
No, and not even the recognition that abiogenesis, belief in that, is contrary to good science. I was struck in the first episode where he talked about science, how that all ideas are discussed, everything's up for discussions, all on the table, and I thought to myself, no, consideration of special creation is definitely not open for discussion, it would seem.
Boy, how interesting.
I mean, like he says, well, that might come. The funny thing is, like, well, maybe that'll come. Maybe we'll get to talk to the producers of the show. Maybe they'll let us sit down and talk with them. No, I don't think that's going to fucking happen. If that's what he meant by that statement. But yeah, I find that pretty freaking hilarious, man. So go ahead, Paul. What were you saying about this with the creationism and stuff?
Yeah, you have equal airtime. It's called preaching from the pulpit. Get your fucking ass back to the pulpit. You don't get to preach your fucking retarded bullshit on a program about education and science. It's neither. It belongs in the church or it belongs in your house. It doesn't belong in a science education or in a science classroom. It doesn't belong in any type of science curriculum or science education anywhere, except maybe at your fucking pigly-ass piece of shit universities that aren't even universities where you pay a couple $1,000 and you get a degree.
Yeah, and they get funded.
I think maybe they also are thinking a lot about getting equal time devoted to like showing stories about Jesus like on TV, on primetime TV. That's another like way that they want equal time. It's like them claiming you should teach both sides They teach the controversy in the science classroom. Exactly, but they think there is one.
Yeah, well, what about the Bible series that came out that was very popular? How come they didn't have any kind of historical or historian's point of view on the birth of Jesus? Basically saying, well, it wasn't on December 25th. You know, we didn't see that. You know, Roman Downey and Mark Burdett. Hold on.
It's not on the 25th.
No, it's not on the 25th. Historians, even theologians,
you're furthering the war on Christmas.
Even the theologians agree. Many of them, most of them actually agree that he was never born on December 25th. Mostly it was in April, you know, during the spring or summertime.
If everything was set in motion by God and everything, our calendar is set up so that, you know, that they don't line up. Obviously, if it's the year of our Lord, right? So, but it comes 6 days. The year changes 6 days after his birthday, so that makes absolutely no sense with leap days and everything else, obviously. But that's like science and math. So how dare I try and bring that up when having a discussion about religion or whatever? But I think they do get plenty of their own time. They get plenty.
Look at the debate that was just happened.
They've got their own
debate,
documentaries, their own movies, their own everything. You just covered that movie, Son of God?
Yeah.
And then they had the documentary on HBO questioning Darwin, and then now they're coming out with Noah, and they don't like that because it's not biblical. And are you fucking kidding me? Come on.
Well, what about atheists? Okay, let's do it that way. You want equal time on public access to the major media outlet? Okay, well, atheists want. I'll give you a nice, analogy here. Atheists want equal time at churches to speak with the congregation. How about that? Let's
on
do
the
that.
700 Club.
Yeah,
let's do that.
700 Club. Exactly. There we go. That's a good one there. Let's do that. You know, we don't ask for this. We don't ask for equal time anywhere. At least science doesn't. You know, if you want to be,
and then they have the nerve
exactly, they feel like they have this entitlement
generation or whatever.
And then they call us the ones who are intolerant. When no, we can't have your stuff in the classroom where you know kids actually might think it's real.
Yeah,
of course not.
I don't know. Well, the one thing I want to bring up real quick is an article from Slate, real quick, and we're going to go over this real quick before we get to the next topic here. Is, oh God, she is so ugly. Oh, you got that, man, right? All right, this is from Slate, Zach Coplin. Creationism basically being taught in public schools with taxpayer money. There's hundreds of schools actually, and it says here, a large publicly funded charter school system in Texas is teaching creationism to its students. Creationist teachers don't even need to be sneaky about it. There's Texas state science education standards, as well as recent laws in Louisiana and Tennessee, permit public school teachers to teach alternatives to evolution. Meanwhile, in Florida, Indiana, Ohio, Arizona, Washington, D.C., and elsewhere, taxpayer money is funding creationist private schools through state tuition vouchers or scholarship programs. Creationism in schools isn't restricted to schoolhouses in remote villages where the separation of church and state is considered less scared. If you live in any of these states, there's a good chance your tax money is helping to convince some hapless students that evolution, and in quotes here, the basic of all modern biological science, supported by everything we know about geology, genetics, paleontology, and other fields, unquote, is some sort of highly contested scientific hypothesis as credible as, quote, and unquote, God did it. Now, I find that very interesting, and this is what they're trying to get away with, man, and they are getting away with it. And I think this program, Cosmos, will maybe help refuel and combat these people that are getting away with this, these cities and towns, these school districts that are getting away with teaching this shit. You know, hopefully we have these organizations, secular organizations, and hopefully they're targeting these places with this new article or new report that just came out with creationism.
I honestly don't see,
especially Texas. I know they're combating it in certain areas in Texas. So.
I don't see how they don't just go after Cosmos for things that you would think religious people would go after Cosmos for. Like, a lot of it is speculation to a degree. You know what I mean? They, like, when he's going to, like, the bottoms of the oceans on other planets, like on Titan and shit. Like, yeah, that's obviously...
Well, it's imagination. It's imagination.
Using your imagination, which is highly, speculative. But why don't they go after it for something like that?
because although it is imagination and speculative, it's based on actual facts that can be proven. That's the difference.
Yeah, and that's the thing about it is, and I'll end with this here, is we can't be teaching children to be ignorant and deny the facts, especially when it comes to evolution or even science research, right? Christians have outlets, like you said, Paul. Christians have these outlets to teach the children this bullshit, creationism, and they have the right to do so. You have church, you have youth group, you have the home, and like parents could teach this shit to their kids. That's fine if they want to teach that to them, but don't tell me that my kids need to learn this shit in public schools and to use taxpayer money to fund creationism to be taught in schools. You're not going to get away with it. Some are getting away with it, but they will look at it and they will combat it. And it'll be just like another Kitzmiller versus Dover. Only thing I want to say here on Cosmos is I think Neil deGrasse Tyson is doing an excellent job, man, so far. I'm really loving the way he's going about it, his demeanor. I think he's doing an excellent job, man. So we got to give him props on that. There's no doubt. He's definitely doing a great job on that. So, by the way, before we end here on this topic, did you guys hear about the new evidence on the Big Bang?
Yeah, I'm the one who linked to it, man.
Oh, you did? That's pretty cool. I think that's pretty awesome. Basically, what it is saying that they have evidence of a trillionth of a trillionth of a trillionth of a second of the inflation of the Big Bang when it first started from to maybe a little less than the size of a football field, and that's a trillionth of a trillionth of a second. It's just amazing. And they have this, I think it's cosmic background radiation, I guess graphs and shit like that. And I don't know too much. I'm not a scientist, but it's pretty cool. What we'll do is we'll link that article in this video when it does come out. So look out for that if you guys want to learn something, new evidence for the Big Bang, and hopefully it's widely accepted through the scientific community. We'll see. So Paul, go ahead before we end.
Sorry, yeah. Be sure to link that one video I sent you too of the assistant professor going to the professor who predicted cosmic inflation 30 years ago.
Oh yeah, the guy
that it's proven.
Yes, thank you. Yes, I will definitely include that too, because he was the pioneer of that that research when it first started out. So yeah, well, I'll definitely include that. It's a great idea. Thank you.
Andre, unfortunately, I'm blanking on his last name right now, but I mean, it's a great scene. It's just so emotional.
Was it the giant?
No.
Oh,
Andre the Giant.
That would require necromancy, but that would be cool.
TJ,
though.
that's why you're here, man, for those fucking little wisecracks. I love them. They're awesome. That's not the reason why you're here. I'm just joking.
I'm sorry. I wanted to say this. Like people, and this is why I shared the video with you. People say to me, "Well, why would you live without God? Why is it? There's nothing to live for if you're not created for something. If you don't have a purpose." Well, this is a beautiful example of what to live for and why to pursue science. You have a man who spent 30 years ago predicted something. 30 years he's been trying to prove it. 30 years people have been bashing him for it, and now finally, his theory is right. And I mean, just you can see the emotion in him. It's beautiful.
Yeah, you're right. And yeah, I'll definitely put that down there. There's no doubt I got it in my folder.